Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I thought I will let you know everything that I read during April. So, um, from April 1st to April 3rd, I think it was, I read this, The First Clown on the Cornfield. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but yeah, it was said that it's very reminiscent of 80s slashers, or at least classic slasher movies, which I wholeheartedly agree with. I've seen a lot of 80s slashers, 90s slashers, and was very reminiscent of 80s slashers. It starts with an event that ends with a tragedy, and then they skip, is it 1 year, 2 years? Yeah, it's 1 year. It's 1 year later, and a girl named Gwen moves to the town with her father. And yeah, there's some history that she obviously doesn't know about it. And the teens start to get murdered. And yeah, I would say that it's very much about today's generation. And yeah, it was really fun. Really fun. It felt a lot like an 80s slasher movie. Actually, I discovered the books because of the movie that was announced last year. And and I have to say I'm really looking forward to seeing the movie. I'm very curious about who they're going to cast in the roles. So yeah, I enjoyed it very much. I think I gave it either a 4 or 5 stars on Goodreads. So yeah, if you're a fan of 80s slasher movies, I would really recommend you to read Clown on a Cornfield. Then, the day that I finished Clown on a Cornfield, I started this, and a few days after I finished it, it was under a week later. Two Can Keep a Secret by Karen and McManus. So yeah, it's basically a teen thriller. It's about it's about wow it's about a girl named, forgotten her name completely, Ellery. A girl named Ellery. Her and her twin brother Ezra moves to their grandmother because their mother is in rehab, and their uh, their aunt disappeared back when their mom and her sister um, were about their age, and Ellery is kind of obsessed with true crime, and she does become a bit obsessed with what happened to her aunt, to their aunts. So she does try to solve what happened to her. But um, it's basically it is. It's about someone that goes after prom queens, or prospective prom queens. It was very fun. It was, and I can really recommend it, especially if you're a fan of Pretty Little Liars, either the books or the TV show. To be honest, it's kind of in the same vein as that, same kind of a teen thriller. And the last one, The Dinner Guest. Now, this one, wow. I honestly have no words. I I did take it did take me a little bit more time to read this, and I'm pretty sure that it was because of the way that it's written. So it's not really standard linear storytelling. And to be honest, I don't really want to talk too much about what happens in the book, because I feel like it's very spoilery, and I don't want to spoil people. I don't want to spoil people about what happens in this book. It's so, yeah, it's very special. Folded page. Yeah, so basically, the only thing that I want to say about it is it's about a dinner. Someone gets murdered, which is what it starts with, by the way. On the first page, you get to know who gets murdered. And one of the other three people that were there that day is the murderer. It does take, yeah, you get to know who it is that is murdered on the first page. It starts with a prologue that's only about 3 pages, I think. No, wait a minute. A little over 3 pages. Um, and then, and then it, then it's from the point of view of Charlie, one of the four main characters, and it's 11 months before the murder, and it alternates between being from the point of view of Charlie and Rachel. Now, all I'm gonna say about the story of this that I haven't already said is um, Charlie, Matthew, and Titus is a family. Charlie and Matthew are raising Titus. Rachel is a person that meets Charlie and Matthew and gets to know them, and thus kind of get interwoven within their lives. Um, and you, oh my god, I was getting so curious what was the motive of characters. What I honestly don't know how to say it without spoiling anything, but yeah, I I was so curious about stuff that you get to hear, and stuff that happens, why people do what they do. And I didn't have a lot of patience to get to know what was happening. Um, and once you get an understanding of one thing, it's just suddenly, oh, okay, But then another thing gets revealed, and you're just, okay, why? Why is that? What happened there? So it honestly, you basically need to get to the end to get to really know anything, and you start to suspect. You're told at the end of the prologue, at the very end of the prologue, that one person there was not the killer. I, however, was still suspecting that person. I was thinking, could there be a way that they are the killer, even though it's stated that they're not? Um, I'm not gonna tell if I'm not gonna tell you if I was right or wrong in that assumption, but or thought process. But yeah, I am. The way that it's structured, the way that you get you start becoming curious about stuff. I can explain it. If you've seen the movie The Caller from the 80s, there's only two actors in that one. Um, I think one of them was Michael McDowell. I think, I think it was him. I saw that one last year, and that one is very much. So you think, okay, maybe this is what is going on. Then something is revealed. You start think, okay, maybe it's something completely else. Then something is revealed there, and you go back. Okay, maybe this one is a murderer. You know. Then something happened, and you think, okay, maybe that person is a murderer, and then it goes went on like that in that movie up until the end. I love that movie. And yeah, this book was very much like that. Now this isn't horror like the movie The Caller, but it is structured in kind of in the same way. Only this one jumps back and forth in time. It goes back to the day of the murder, and then it goes back to, you know, 11 months before and 10 months before, and then um, after we've gone back to the day of the murder uh, a few times, it does actually go to the day after. Then it's, you know 10 months before, 9 months before, then it's 2 days after the murder, then it's only 5 months to go. Then it just it keeps building up to it. It builds up to the day of the murder, and it ends up going, was it a couple of weeks after the murder, I think. um and then after the murder has happened and everything, it skips, what was it, 1 year later? I think it was about, no, 7 months, 7 months after the murder. um and I think that the epilogue, I think it skipped even a bit further than that. Yeah, that was 3 years after the murder. And I was honestly not ready for some of the places that this book went. Um, I've honestly never read anything like it. And not a single day has passed since I read it that I haven't thought about it at all. And yeah, I highly, highly recommend it if you're not bothered by the fact that it doesn't have a linear storytelling, because that is a big factor. So if you don't like that, I wouldn't recommend you read it. But yeah, that is going to be the video for today. I would love it. I would love it if you gave this video a like, if you subscribed if you haven't already, and yeah, maybe comment. Maybe you read one of these books. Maybe you read all three of them. Yeah. Bye.